Good morning, children. In today's video, we will start with our new topic, lesson number 10, mineral nutrition in plants. In my previous video, we talked about the animals, like I completed the animal kingdom with phylum Chordata, basic characteristics, then classification of phylum, subphylum, their characteristics, and remember only two examples as per the council requirement we have to do here along with five characteristics. But the same children, when we come over to superclass and the classes, they are only restricting to three characteristics and two examples. So this is how we had completed the same. Today let us start with the technical terms first. For example, nutrients. Nutrients are chemical substances that provide nourishment to living organisms. Now, when I say organisms, this includes plants as well as animals. But remember, this chapter is all about plants only. Mineral nutrition in plants is the topic of your chapter. So, what is nutrition? It is the process involving absorption of various minerals by living beings for growth and development. Now, one thing is clear that the basic needs of all living organisms are similar. All right. So, more or less, they require macromolecules like carbohydrates, proteins, fats. They also require water and minerals for their growth and development. Right. So, when it comes to minerals, let us understand what the term minerals mean. These are inorganic elements which the plants obtain from the soil, and these occur in the form of minerals. So these inorganic elements which the plants obtain from soil occur in the form of minerals. And accordingly, what is mineral nutrition? The absorption, distribution, and metabolism of mineral elements by plants is called mineral nutrition. Now, minerals, the ones that are absorbed from the soil by the plants, right, they play a very important role in the life of a plant. So, in this chapter, we are going to study the methods how to identify the essential elements required for growth and development, how to determine the criteria for essentiality, like what is important and what is not very important for the plant in case of minerals, then mechanism of absorption and the importance of absorption in biological nitrogen fixation. Right. So how really these things take place? This is what we're going to talk in this lesson. The next is criteria for essentiality of minerals. There are two names, Anand and Stout. The year was 1939. So it's given here. I'll show you in your textbook pages. The chapter begins at page number 11.49. The nutrients and nutrition, and certain tables are given here. This table gives some common balanced nutrient solutions in gram per liter. Remember children, you don't have to learn this composition at all, right? This is only the composition shown by two scientists, Anand and Hoagland, who developed the first complete list of known mineral salts that are required to prepare a culture nutrition. So we'll talk about this, that how can we grow a plant without soil by giving it right quantity of nutrients and the aeration in the container. So this all we'll talk about later. Just now let us begin with the topic for criteria for essentiality. Now, essentiality, first to understand what it means, right? I'll give you a table just now, but most of the minerals that are present in the soil, they enter the plants through the roots. Now, if we talk about the number, then the total elements that are being discovered, they are some around 105, right? Then number of elements that are found in plants, they are around 60. That means the rest of the elements, they are not taken up by the plant system. And out of 60, the number of elements that are required or essential for plant growth are only 17, right? So that means they are the ones what we can call as essential. And the ones that are non-essential. Now you can imagine if 60 are taken by the plant and 17 are being clearly indicated as essential, then how many are non-essential? 60 minus 17, that is some 43. At the same time, all essential elements that are required for animal growth are not the same that are required for plant growth. So we can clearly say that the elements required by plants are specific and they need not be the same and exact what the animals require. All right, let us start with the criteria. There were two names, Anand and Stout. The year was 1939, and they gave the following criteria to determine the essentiality of a mineral, that is, of an element. How can we say that a particular element is essential, that means very important, or non essential, that is non important? The first criteria is that the element must be absolutely necessary for supporting the normal growth of the plant and its reproduction. That means if that particular element is missing, then the growth and reproduction is affected. The second is it is incorporated inside plants as structural component or as functional group. The element which we call as essential should be taken up by the plants, right, and be incorporated in their structural as well as functional groups. Then, the requirement of the element must be specific and not replaceable by another element. That it should not be substituted by any other, and then we still call it as element, right? That means it should be specific, cannot be replaced by some other element. Fourth, element must play a direct role in the metabolism of plant. And fifth, the reduced availability of such elements cause disorders called deficiency symptoms. All right. Then a name coming up, according to Hogland, there are elements that can be called as essential, right? Which are these elements? Same elements which satisfy the other above criteria. These elements that we now are going to use the term essential, that means very, very important, they are only called so because they are going to satisfy the above 5 criteria. And if any element fails to satisfy this criteria, then what do we call it? We'll call it non-essential, right? So according to this, on the basis of average concentration in the plants, Hogland divided the essential elements into two categories, macronutrients and the